right, construction champions, it's your host, Ron Nussbaum, and we're here for another amazing episode of Construction Champions Podcast, where we're burning the house down twice a week, every Monday and Thursday. You can find us wherever you listen to podcasts, on YouTube, anywhere you name it. Construction Champions Podcast is there. I'm here with an amazing guest. We've had her before. She's back for round two. Nicole, it is great to have you here.
This is always so much fun. Thanks for having me here and getting to talk to everyone about why it's so awesome to work in the field that we get to work in.
Awesome. Well, we're going to try to change it up the format a little bit here, and we're just going to dive in. I'm going to ask the $1,000,000 question, and that is, what makes a construction champion?
Introducing BuilderComms, the construction communication software that's changing the game. Say goodbye to communication challenges and hello to effortless communication. With BuilderComms, you can communicate with clients, share pictures, videos, and documents, and keep clients informed about the progress of their projects. Get real-time updates, prevent miscommunications and delays, and ensure successful projects. Don't let bad communication ruin your construction projects. Try BuilderComms today. Visit us at buildercomms.com.
That's always such a great question because it's there's so much that can go into that. But I really look at it as a company that serves their customers, serves their team, and serves themselves. Because if you can't take care of yourself, you're not going to be there for your clients. But if you're not taking care of your clients, you can't do anything. So you kind of have to look at everyone, make sure you're taking care of everyone because, it's important. So champions do all of that well.
I'd say there's a lot to unpack there. So, I mean, we
Yes.
hit a lot of key principles of what you have to do. Take care of yourself, take care of your team, take care of your customers.
Mhm.
Do you have an order that you feel like that should be in, or do they all just kind of the same trajectory?
No, I definitely say you have to take care of your customers first, because if you're not taking care of your customers, you're not going to have any customers to take care of or not take care of. So you take care of your customers, you take care of your team, and you take care of yourself. But you're planning on taking care of yourself. You're not giving yourself the leftovers or what's left because then you have burnout or you can't afford to take care of your customers. So you build your company and your team and your whole system in a way that you're doing all three. And really do it equally, but at the beginning, it's because you're taking care of your customers. So.
Yeah, I can see how the customers matter a great deal because without them, us as business owners, we don't have anything. But we also have to take care of ourselves. So I love when you said there about not giving yourself the revenants or the leftovers, because that's what can happen as business owners. We fall to the bottom and then we just kind of, whatever's left is just what we get. And that's just not sustainable. That just doesn't work.
Yeah, there's actually a great book, Profit First. I love him, everything he's written. But it's really about making sure you're planning to put profit into your business and paying yourself first, rather than taking profit at the very end. But I really believe in making sure you have a goal and a plan and a mission before you start doing anything. And, the best time to plant a tree was 30 years ago. Second best is today. So even if you've gone your whole business life just flying at the seat of your pants, now is a great time to decide, you know what? I'm going to always assume I'm going to get this amount of profit. There's going to be about this amount of wiggle room. I'm going to make sure I have money to bonus my team. Once you plan it all out, then you don't feel so bad about asking for it at the beginning. So if you can really decide that I'm going to take care of myself, I'm going to take care of my team while I'm taking care of my clients, your clients are going to be upset about it and you're going to feel good about it. And it's going to re-energize you and make you feel good about doing business. So it's a win-win-win for everyone. Even if you're like, oh gosh, I don't know if I really want to charge that much. No one's going to want to work with me. But at the end of the day, if you're not taking care of yourself or your team, you're not going to have your team or you're not going to have yourself. I mean, how many construction companies are out there just killing themselves trying to make a buck? And make less than everyone else. So, think about what you really want. You don't want to spend your life working so hard for that $1 when you really could be doing just a little bit more and put more in your own pocket. Take vacations, enjoy your life, hire good people. That's what it's about. So,
Well,
it's
The Profit First is a great book. It's a great way to look at running your business. If for
Mhm.
all listeners out there, if you've never read that book, I highly recommend taking a listen to it, pick it up, read it, because there's always stuff. It's about pulling out those golden nuggets that work for you.
Mhm.
As you were talking about that, I remembered something I used to say all the time. And it's really a three-legged stool. And that's what you're talking
Yeah.
about here is you have
Hmm.
your customer, you have your team, you have your health. They're all equally important to keeping that stool up. If you cut off one of those right there, if you cut it off, the stool falls over. So you have to create an environment where everybody can win. I used to always say the customer has to win, the employee wins, and the company has to win. If those three people are not winning, the store falls over. None of it can exist. We cannot
Yeah.
be there to do the job or serve the employees if the company doesn't win. But if the customer's not winning, they're not going to hire us. It's a whole evolving circle, and if one leg is cut off, everything falls over.
Hmm. Yeah. And, a lot of people look at what their competitors are doing and saying, oh, well, the competitors are getting away with this. The competitors are doing this. But, it doesn't mean that they are struggling with, you know, only one and a half of those pegs on or the, the things on the stool. Oh my goodness. The legs. Oh goodness. Three-legged stool, if they're struggling, they don't have enough legs for their stool, why copy them? And that's, there's look at what they're actually doing and if they're actually doing it well before you copy someone's idea on what they're doing and how they're doing it.
Yeah, I think the analogy of they're getting away with it is not a very good one to
Yeah.
like base your principle, like how you're going to do it should never, because we watch that stuff happen all the time and you're like, I
Mhm.
can't believe like they're getting away with it. And then we also don't take a good enough look in the mirror and understand we have shortcomings as well, and we might even be doing the same thing. Uh, that's that's just not how it should work.
Mhm. Yeah, I really believe that authenticity is super big in your marketing and how you act and how you convey yourself. And if you're copying what other people are doing or saying, well, I can get away with it, so why shouldn't I? Are you really being authentic to who you want to be, who you should be, who you feel like you're driven to be, who you want your company to be? If you can just get away with it or someone else is doing it, so it's fine, or it works for them, why don't we do it too? But, if you're not being authentic, then, it just doesn't feel good. It doesn't look good. It comes across as cheesy or, not transparent to your customers. So, there's so much that we forget when we start trying to do business, that sometimes the reason why we are successful is because of who we are and what we do and what we bring to the table. So don't try and be someone else or try and do something just because you can get away with it. Be who you are. That's why people do business with you.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's so much truth in that, especially in the construction space, where we can get kind of moving out of areas where like might not be stuff we typically do, but we end up doing it just because we have the ability to do it. But that doesn't mean we should be doing it. And you
Mhm.
start to lose that authentic who you are. And
Yeah.
that's what people buy. That's what at the end of the day they're looking for is, I've found the greatest power and ability that I have is just to be Ron, to just be Ron Nussbaum. Like that has the greatest selling presence you could possibly have, because if I'm just me, I'm comfortable. I'm just doing what I want to do, and that's relatable. people, like, you can pick up on that. Like, I'm not just doing something I don't want to do just to do it. And it works in every interaction that we have.
Mhm. Yeah. And you brought up a really good point there. Like a lot of times we take a job because it's close enough to what we do. And so, one of my past clients introduced them. So of course I'm going to take it. That's an easy sell, but it's not exactly what I do. And my team's not the best at that. And I don't really have the equipment for that, but it's okay. I can rent new equipment and, we can get a temp on that knows this stuff. And the next thing you know is another person has another job that maybe it's your core job or your core skill set, but then there's a little bit of a, hey, can you also add on these gutters and the chimney and, whatever else it is that they want you to do. And you take it because, hey, that's an easy $500 or $5,000 or 50 grand, whatever it is that, is coming through, because if you say yes, you get the job. So you take it, but then you don't have the skill set, you don't have the equipment, you lose profit on those things right away because, you're going to go slower, you might not be as good, and you're going to have to rent equipment that you don't own. That comes out of your profit, which comes out of your paycheck as the owner. That's not fun right there. But then what happens to your reputation? What if you aren't as good as you were in your core competency? If you're saying, yes, I'm the best at this, but we can also do this, because I've done it kind of sort of one time, or you can just stick with what you're really good at, where everyone knows that if they hire you for that, you will get the best work at such a great value because it's so good and you get it done quick and it's totally worth the price that they have to pay. You know, until you are known by everyone in your market that you are the best at this and everyone goes to you and you're trying to grow and you just cannot grow in that area anymore, there's no reason to go take other jobs or other projects outside of that, because then you're losing out on the opportunity to be the best in what you do and the number one go-to company for that. So if you start taking off all these other jobs just because they're put in front of you, which who doesn't love it when a job is just put right in front of you and it's just an easy win, But until you are maxed out and you can't grow in your industry, in your niche, in your, geographic region, whatever it is, and then you bring on more people to do the same in another area, there's no reason to take on those jobs because that can hurt you. And then you're just not authentic to what you do and what you're trying to do. So I hope that makes people think about why they shouldn't take another job, that other side thing that, it's an easy little bit, but
Yeah, no,
it's hard.
I have and to follow up on that is because I believe in partnerships and finding the
Mhm.
relationships. And if you want to talk about starting to get those jobs that are in a pretty little box that are just like exactly what you do, is when somebody asks for you to do stuff that's out of your wheelhouse, having a network of people around you that like they're the best that do that, and you start to create these referral networks, because I'm going to tell you, they probably don't want to do what you do just
Mhm.
as much as you don't want to do what they do. And you
Yeah.
can start to create this environment, this ecosystem where you can refer business back and forth, and it takes the pressure off of you to do something that you don't want to do and you're not good at. And it even makes you look better because you know the person to do that. You can introduce them to the customer. You can help walk through that and start to create a world where it's not just about everything that I can do, but how can we just deliver the best experience and just stick to what we do?
Yeah. No, that is huge. I mean, if you can find the right partners and, sometimes you give them a referral, like you get money off of that referral fee. And sometimes you just decide like, hey, they give me 3 jobs every month. Heck yeah, I'm going to send them as much work as I possibly can. Like it's very symbiotic, everyone wins. It's a great relationship. And, sometimes you take a job because you know what, you think it'll be easy, and then you realize, oh gosh, I really should have given this to someone else. And when you're in that place, that's where you start building those relationships and, keep your ear out, like who's the best, tandem skill set. If you're in masonry, who are the best plumbers, who are the best, electric, it really depends on what type of masonry, now that I say it, like who's going to be the best. But like, if you're in painting, who's the best at putting on new gutters, like that's an obvious thing. And vice versa, so that you can have that go-to person that makes everyone feel good and look good.
Absolutely. I mean, I agree with that completely. That's how you continue to stay in your wheelhouse. It's how you do what you're good at, and not, it makes you even look like more of the expert. If you
Mhm.
can say, well, hey, that's not really in my wheelhouse, but I know the best company around here, and I can help get them out here and get this squared away for you. I mean, it just makes you look like more of the pro.
Yeah, there's so many times where you get that great insight from someone, and I great as in quotations here, where someone says, "Oh, well, you should do this too, because that makes so much sense," or you should do this, and you think, "Oh, well, they're telling me maybe I should." And they have a really nice nail salon. They know how to run businesses, like it doesn't make sense for you. If it doesn't make sense for you, if it's not authentic for what you're trying to do, I love the word authentic if you can't tell. If it's not authentic, doesn't feel right, it's not in your wheelhouse, really evaluate if it does make sense. Because I mean, maybe it really does. But if you can find a partner that can do it probably even cheaper, better, and faster than you can, makes you look good, they make you look good, you feel good, client's happy, you get more business. It's just what happens.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. Great conversation today. New format. We dove right into the $1 million question. I love it. But why don't you tell all the construction champions out there a little bit about yourself, where they can find you, where they can connect with you, and yeah.
Yeah, so I do something that's kind of a little unique and use the buzzwords, marketing rev ops. So we look at everything that touches your customer and how you can build your business better so that you are serving your clients the way you want to be serving them without having to worry that you're not treating them right and that you're getting the right clients and not just anyone that can pay. We want the ideal clients. So that's what we really are all about. We're really about making you better and using your resources, time, money, and energy. I mean, those are the resources we have to make that happen, not, doing things that are not going to align with that. So, I work with clients, kind of one-on-one, or do some massive, crazy things where we dive into every little aspect of your business and help really tweak it and adjust it to make it work well. But you can find me at glovermarketing.com, and Glover, it's like G Lover, Glover, glovermarketing.com.
Awesome, Nicole. Well, thank you for being on the show
Thanks
again.
for having me.
It's been absolutely awesome.
Yeah,
All
this
right.
has been fantastic. Thank you.
All right, construction champions, another episode where we talked about partnerships. We talked about your own health, your team, your customer experience, how all that has to come together in order to just deliver the perfect product to your customer and to actually just to have the business that you want to have. These are all great insights to go look in the mirror and ask yourself, like, what I would just lead with, if I was sitting on a store right now that's my business, what would be the leg that's missing, or why it is it on a solid foundation, or do you need to improve it? What does that look like? This is all stuff we can continue to ask ourselves. The great thing about all of this is, like, this is evolving. As your business grows, you grow, the opportunities grow, stuff changes. Maybe you move into different skill sets when your business is ready, or maybe you pull back. Maybe you're listening right now and you're like, man, that really made sense. Like, I'm just taking on jobs that are just not what I want to do. And maybe you need to pull back to expand. This is all, that's how all of this works, is you figure out what is best for you, what's best for your employees, what's best for your customers. and then go do it and be the best around that does it. Go be that champion. Like, that's why we're here on Construction Champions Podcast. Make sure you go check out all of our fantastic sponsors. And until next time, be the champion you were meant to be.